Hi, this is Mark Wiltshire. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Explore Finland radio show. And this week, we're talking cinema. But not actually making movies, but I go to visit a very special cinema. Based near to Seinäjoki in a small village called Ylistaro. The Matin-Tupa Cinema is 75 years old. It's an independent cinema, and it's a bit special in this day of, huge multiplexes showing all the biggest blockbusters. Matin-Tupa is something a bit different. I was lucky enough to meet the great-granddaughter of Matti, who first built and opened Matin-Tupa, Mari Keskinen, sat down with me and explained to me a little bit about the history of the cinema, about her experiences as a sort of child growing up in the family that was running the cinema, and then also talking about the Filmiä, valoa, elokuvafestivaali, the film and light film festival that they have there once a year. So I will head over now, let you listen to my conversation with Mari. It was filmed in the projection room of the cinema, so there's a little bit of background noise, but I think it just kind of adds to the atmosphere of and the occasion that we were there for the festival. And then afterwards, I did head back and pay a visit around Christmas 2015. Watched a film, so I'm just going to come back and give you a few of my thoughts from actually going to visit there. This week, I'm actually sitting in the projection room of a cinema. That's why there's a bit of background noise. I'm joined today by Mari Keskinen, whose family own the cinema that I'm in, which is called Matin-Tupa in Ylistaro in South Ostrobothnia. So, Mari, thank you for joining me.
Oh, yes, you're welcome.
I didn't realise until quite recently that this was a family-owned business still. What's the story of Matin-Tupa as a cinema and as a family business? When did it start, for example? When was it opened?
Next year, 75 years ago.
Okay.
Yes, it's like a lifestyle. We have all children have grown in here. We have lived in Matin-Tupa.
Yeah. Okay.
And I can't think another way of life, I think.
Well, I've met 3 generations of your family, and now it's being run by your father. And obviously I'm with you, and I met your daughter. Who started the cinema? Who opened it in the first place?
My father's granddad.
Okay.
It was Matti Luoma, and that was in Loppiainen, in January in 1946 was the first show.
Do you know what the first movie was?
Urhojen tie.
Okay, a Finnish movie.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We're here today, particularly because you have this film festival, the Filmiä ja valoa elokuvafestivaali.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
that's good. Tell me a little bit about the festival. When did it start? What's the idea behind it? That kind of thing.
Today it's this year is the 9th festival, and our father Anssi he had an idea at film festival, and every year we have another theme, and this year's theme is what you call in English yrittäjyys. So it's
like work or
work, yes.
Something along those
something
lines.
like that.
Enterprise.
Yes. In Pohjanmaa yrittäjyys is very strong.
yeah, that's true. I have my business here, and this kind of entrepreneurial spirit is quite famous in South Ostrobothnia.
Yeah.
So that's something that you're reflecting this year with the film.
Yeah.
With the film festival. So tell me a little bit about some of the films that you're showing, and maybe some of the special things that you're doing here this weekend that you wouldn't normally do.
Well, there's documents, and today there was a document called Halpaita, and it's the store next I forgot it.
in the next road.
In the next road,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And there was Sinikka the owner has been keeping the store for I think 48 years.
Okay, so you did a documentary about her.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and her story and her children and their story.
Is that the film that was ending when I arrived today?
Yes.
Okay. It was so busy in there. when I
Yeah.
arrived.
The showing was full. Every place was full.
And you have, I think, 8 or 10 different movies being shown today.
Yeah, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
8
okay.
films.
all of different lengths, and it ends with the 3D Hollywood movie, The Walk.
Yeah.
So it's a real variation. You
Yeah.
have some other special screenings going on over the weekend as well.
Tomorrow is a concert. It's called Hyvät, pahat ja toivotut. Trio Cinema. And the pianist is Riley Peltonen.
Okay.
And they are playing cinema music.
So there's a movie playing and live kind of...
No, it's I think it's a just concert.
Oh, I see.
Playing a movie films music.
Yeah, I
There's a-
see. Okay.
Piano and cello and it's
That's flute.
flute. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because I know Maria, who's here to play the
Okay.
flute tomorrow. So
Okay.
I don't know if she listens to the show, but we're talking about you, Maria. Good luck with the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that last year at the show you showed a silent movie and had some music playing
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yeah. It was what was it? 1 year we showed Chaplin,
Yeah,
and
okay.
that was the last year was I don't remember what was the film. It was finished with yes, but I don't remember the name.
It's
Sorry.
just trying to do something a bit different with cinema to give people
Yes.
something more than just regular cinema experience.
Yeah, something like feeling and something to discuss
Yeah.
and something like that.
Well, the documentary you showed earlier about the shop nearby
Yeah.
clearly gave people a lot to talk about because the reception, the foyer of the cinema was full of people and buzzing with everyone talking and taking pictures. So I think that really worked.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this place that we're in, because when I told my kids I was coming here, they said, yeah, well, we know what a cinema is. And then I said, well, look at this picture. And to describe this for the people listening, it's a standalone building, wooden building, kind of rectangular with another piece at the side, which is the foyer, and then you have the auditorium
Yeah.
inside. And we had to come outside and up the back stairs to come into the projection room
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different, and I thought the wood, the foyer was all wood panelled and just traditional, that traditional cinema feel. In these days where a cinema is kind of an ice cream and popcorn shop that
Yeah.
happens to show
Yeah.
a few movies from time to time, I thought this was there was some atmosphere
Yeah.
down there as well.
Yeah. We were trying to keep the old and put a new height.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. I made a note that and I spoke to your sister just before,
Yeah.
to Maya, and she was saying how this is a real combination of old and new technology.
Yeah.
What are the different types of movies that can be shown here?
There's a 35mm and 16 and
Okay.
DVDs, and then there's the Digi projector, and what else? I'll have to look.
I guess nowadays a lot of the movies are distributed
Yeah.
digitally
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. It's not sending round rolls of film to be projected in person.
Yeah, films are coming into the wires. Yeah.
But we're sitting here now, and I've just put a picture on Instagram of this 35mm setup that you've got here, and it's a big piece of equipment.
Yes, it is, and that was the long-term device.
Yeah.
And you put the films together in a big, what is Kela?
In a big roll, is
Roll,
it?
yeah. And you show it all over there.
I wonder if there are many people nowadays who can still work this kind of machinery, now that everything is becoming more and more digital.
Not many.
No. How often do you get to use the older equipment?
Not very. I think what was last spring when he showed one film.
Right. Okay.
And it's they don't do it anymore at all.
Now I listen to a weekly movie review show, the Kermode and Mayo film review show, and they're always complaining that there's less and less opportunity to see films projected properly by a projectionist, and also that you get a different quality to the film when you're watching on film rather than digital.
Yes, there's some kind of emotions within, and the film is those scratches, and it's like it's I think old feelings.
I guess it's the film equivalent of listening to vinyl record.
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Same kind of thing. What's involved in keeping a reel of film going so that people don't actually notice the joins between the films?
You have to be in engine room all the time, and the reel lasts 20 minutes, and then when it's gone, you have to do yliheitto, so you start another reel.
Yeah.
And our father was here every weekend, and we showed 1, 2, 3 pictures, and he was here all the time, and we brought him lunch and dinner, and
he couldn't leave the engine room in all that time. And I think that is the art that is being lost maybe nowadays. When I look at the equipment to the side of me here, there's 2 huge reels that can take a lot of film, which then feeds into the projector in front of it, and then I guess comes back out and rolls around the reel at the bottom. It looks a bit scary, to be honest. I don't know if I would trust myself to get too close to it. So, and I think we don't need to explain the very fine details of how it actually works. But is it a case that as one reel of film is kind of finishing, you have to feed the other one through so that it just continues?
At the same time, quickly.
Wow. And I guess there's always a risk with the older equipment of the film getting stuck and maybe catching fire, or you see these things from time to time.
Yeah, when I was a little, I remember when we showed the film Coma, and the film was broken, and I think my father and my grandmother repaired the film over 2 hours, and I think that any of the customers left. They waited, and then they showed
for 2 hours for the film to be reshown, repaired, and then shown again.
Yeah, I think it was not that long, and I was sleeping on the sofa at that time.
It seems like you slept through the important parts of history at Matin-Tupa. Tell me a little bit. That's kind of the equipment here in the projection room. You call it the engine room.
Yeah.
What about the actual auditorium itself? Tell people a little bit about what's inside there. I haven't been in there yet. There's too many people here today, and I haven't been to see a movie here before, but it's now definitely on my list of things to do.
Yeah.
But what's it like inside there?
And there's a purple screen. What is esirippu?
A curtain.
Purple curtain, and same colors chairs, 201. And then there's big picture of Lion King on the wall.
Okay. A painted picture.
It's a poster.
Right. Okay.
But
but this is a and you've got one auditorium here.
Yeah.
Again, in the days of it's multiplex culture that many people know. This is basically one building with one cinema inside, but it's in use pretty much every day.
Yes, we have show every day, and approximately about 2 shows in every day.
Right. Okay. And more so maybe in the holiday periods when the children are around.
Yeah. And in festivals, very many.
Yeah. 8, for example, today. What about any other occasions where you've had somebody famous or well known come here to the festival, or just to watch a movie when they're in the area?
Oh, there have been Sofi Oksanen, Cottage, and Kari Hotakainen, Tuomas Kyrö, director Lars Olsson.
How did they come to be here? Was it for the festival?
For the festival, yes.
And what did they do here?
They were visitors, and their films, or in case Sofi Oksanen's books, were in showing there, and some actors. It was Sinikka Mokkila, and what were they in movie Hiljaisuus, Finnish movie, and some other.
They do some kind of questions and answers at the time their films come out, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and people can ask them questions, and they discuss the film afterwards, and discuss books and something like that.
Do you have any interesting stories from over the years, things that have happened here, or historical stories from the cinema?
Well, I told you we have lived here, me and my sisters, and we used to have a green sofa on the front of the auditorium, and we were always here. And then I remember we, like very many shows, we sleep on the sofa. But it was custom to come here, and we lived here, and it was always, we did it.
Was that when there was an actual screening being shown? Like people were paying to come in, and you had your own sofa at the front?
Yeah, it was on the front, and we looked at the film in a while, and then we got tired and we slept.
That's fantastic. I was talking to your daughter before, and she said kind of the same thing. So you've got another generation coming through who have lived in this cinema.
Yeah.
Your family, your parents still live here in Ylistaro or nearby?
Yeah, in Ylistaro, yes.
Okay. So I was saying how my children consider themselves lucky to have a separate TV room where they can shut the door, keep the parents outside, and they have a widescreen TV and surround sound, and that's compared to what we had or I had as a kid at home, that's quite special. But what you have and what your daughter have is well beyond that. It seems to me that this family-run business will be going strong for many years still to come, because there's such a passion for films in the family. I know you don't live and work in Ylistaro anymore, but before we started talking, your whole family was together here in the foyer, everybody working, everybody helping, and it was kind of like at Christmas time where the whole family gets together. You guys do it also for this film festival as well. Do you think that the generation under you, your daughter and her cousins, will still have that passion for cinema?
Yeah, I think so, because we are always doing all together, and when they call Finnish kökkä, in Pohjanmaa kökkä, we don't. Anybody doesn't get paid.
Yes.
For this.
Yeah, I understand. It's kind of something that everybody enjoys doing to keep things going. And you said before that next year is the 75th anniversary of this place, so that will be a big year for you.
Yeah.
You don't know yet what will be planned for.
I think my father can put up with something.
He'll come up with some ideas. Yeah, I guess you're probably right. I also read something on your website about a poster exhibition. Is that you have or collection maybe? Yeah,
that's my father.
Okay.
He has, as a little boy, he has collected posters, and he has quite a lot of them. He never sells them. He trades, but not selling. He has collected them of little boy.
Are these posters ever on display anywhere? Is the collection something people can see, or is it just his collection?
Yeah, his bringing them out on poster showings of Suomen Filmikavari asks him, and he has some posters who aren't anywhere.
Yeah, that like the final copy.
And paper versions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how does he store all of these posters? Where are they here on this place?
In his home.
Right.
and they are like flat.
Yes, okay.
No, not in the wall.
but still, that must take up a lot of space in his home.
Yeah.
Your mum must have a lot of patience to cope with all these things being collected. In our house, if you get a pile of magazines, half a metre high, then it has to go to the recycling. So he has quite a lot.
They are like vaults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I also read that at one stage there was a big fire here at the cinema.
Yeah.
When was that? What happened?
I don't remember its year, but it was next to our my kototalve where I used to live in, and it burned down, and this building was
built.
Built.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. So it was in a different location in the beginning. Explain that a little bit. Where it used to be located. You said next to your home. Was it literally next door to home at that time?
Yeah. It's in 50 meters over that way, and it's near. And my father lives next to it. My home is always there.
And was it the same kind of size as the place now, or was it a smaller cinema back in those days?
I don't remember it. I have a picture, but my father has many stories about that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that your father doesn't really speak English.
Yeah.
It would be good to take some of those stories from him as well. But there was the fire destroyed the cinema, but not your home, of course.
No. Yes.
And then this place was built.
Yeah.
I don't know, 60 or something years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't born there.
Right. Okay, no, definitely not. I understand. Matti, I told you that we would end up talking quite a long time. We've been talking for more than 20 minutes, and I know it's a really busy day for you, so I won't keep too much more of your time now. But if people are interested to find out more about Matin-Tupa, where can they find the website? What's the website address?
www.matin-tupa.fi.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I'll keep some notes for each show, so I will put the show notes, put the link in the show notes, and people can come and find you here. Also, what about social media, on Facebook or something like that?
It's on there as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not in Facebook, so I don't know anything about that. You have to ask
No, that's
Maria.
fine. I think that the people listening, if they use Facebook, they will type in Matin-Tupa Cinema and they will find it. So, Matti, thank you very much for your time. That creaking door is Maya coming back into the engine room to start the next movie, and I'm not going to edit any of this out. I'm going to keep it in because it's fun, and this is what's going on around us at the moment. So, Matti, thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you.
And that's the end of another episode of the Explore Finland radio show. Thank you for joining me. Remember to head over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio to subscribe, rate and review the show. Remember, you can follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram and Google+. Actually, I put out a picture on Instagram of the engine room, the projection room here at Matin-Tupa, so you can see that. Also head over to my website, the explorefinlandpodcast.com, where you can see the show notes and probably quite a lot of photos from the cinema, not taken by me today because it's too busy, there's too many people and I've been in the way enough already, so I'm going to head away and hopefully get some pictures from Matti and Maya. When you go over to the website, you can also choose to follow the website directly, so if you don't use social media, you can follow the site and you'll get sent an update every time by email, every time I publish a new episode. So until next week on the Explore Finland radio show, thanks for listening. Bye-bye. So thanks again to Matti for finding some time in what was an incredibly busy day. sometime between Christmas and New Year 2015, I did pay a visit as a customer and go and sort of get the experience of watching a movie there. And I took my two kids, and I took my brother-in-law Sven, who's a bit of a movie and cinema buff. We did it to experience this special cinema, and it was quite something. As you walk into the foyer, I think I explained it during the interview. It is a standalone wooden building, and as you go into the foyer, it's wood panelled foyer area, and we went to see Star Wars. And on that day, of course, there were all the posters for the current movies, and of course several for the newest Star Wars movie, which this winter was Star Wars 7, The Force Awakens. But what was really nice was that Anssi Luoma, Mari's father, who's running the cinema nowadays, he had clearly delved into his collection of posters, and he had posters for all the previous 6 Star Wars films going back to A New Hope back in 1977. So he had these around the foyer as well. But apart from that, there was nothing. There's no popcorn machine or drinks or anything. It is just about going to see a movie. So we went and bought our ticket, and we chose our seats from a sheet of paper, and then Anssi wrote the seat numbers on our tickets and gave us the tickets as we went through into the auditorium. And you go up a few steps into the auditorium, and you're basically at the top, at the back of the room, and it slopes gently down like any cinema would do. So we took our seats in the second to last row, right in the middle, prime viewing place, and we had nice soft padded seats that flip up, and you'll be able to see some of this pictures and whatever in the show notes. I've taken some from the Matin-Tupa website. Thank you to Maya for that, and I also took a few myself, so a few with my phone that I could take without disturbing anyone too much before the film started. And we took our seats, and then I got a bit curious and sort of started to have a look round. So you'll see that in the pictures that I took a few shots from different areas, and I walked right down to the front to see the place where Mari would have sat on that green sofa that she told us about, and watched the movies or slept through the movies when she was younger. And then as I turned to sort of look back up the auditorium towards the back, and I could see the little windows that I was peeking through while we were recording the interview. I noticed that the front 5 rows of the cinema were wooden seats, and that something I'd never seen before. I don't know if you're supposed to take your own cushions, or if the locals know, you only get the wooden seats if you book your tickets too late. I don't know, but it was interesting. It was something different. I think that my memories of the cinema as a kid, and I always tell my kids this, of queuing up to see Ghostbusters, and I went with my mum, and I think one of my aunties and cousins were there, and we didn't get in. We went to the late afternoon showing, and we queued up and didn't get in because it sold out. And so we then went home, had our dinner, and then went back in the evening and made sure we got there a bit earlier and got closer to the front of the queue. And that's all gone now, because you can book your tickets online and you can book your seats. And of course, that's what we all want from the cinema. We want that customer experience. But at Matin-Tupa, you get a more traditional experience. And maybe, as with many things in life, we're kind of now moving back towards doing things in a more traditional way. And being in there, watching the movie, it had the velvet, again, you'll see the pictures, the velvet curtain went back, the lights went dim, and then we got a modern digital 3D projected film. The sound was good, the picture quality was good. Just because we were in this very traditional building, there was nothing lacking about the sort of audio and visual experience. So I recommend this to anyone who likes cinema Of course, if you're lucky enough to get there and see them projecting something from film, then great, give it a try. But that may be limited options there, but it's definitely worth a go. And I think that was our experience. It made a mark on us. The kids said, "Oh, we want to go back. We liked it there." I think Sven was quite impressed with the experience, if not so much with Star Wars 7. The kids liked it. The grown-ups, maybe not so much. But we'll definitely make a trip back to Matin-Tupa one day, and I would recommend anyone that's listening to make the effort and get out there and check it out. It's certainly something a bit different. Final time. Thanks to Mari, thanks to Anssi, thanks to Maya, everybody that we mentioned in the interview, in the recording, that made me feel really welcome while they were also really busy trying to, get their film festival off on schedule. I trust it was successful. Next week's episode is kind of connected to Matin-Tupa. It's an interview with some documentary makers who actually got their documentary shown at the film festival at Matin-Tupa, so there's a connection there. And I think I'm going to wrap up this week, and until the next episode next week, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
No?
Ei mitään.
It's okay.
Firtattiin lähtee nyt tilaus, niin mitä sä otat?
En mä ota mitään.
Sä otat?
En tarvitse.
Anteeksi häiriö.
Ei mitään.
That's okay. I just made a mark on the recording so I can go back and cut that away. You heard it, so it was good. We stopped talking.